Assalamu alaikum class. Good morning to you all. This is IT extension program powered by exponential computers. This topic is computer science. This is 2 first term, week 1. The lesson is prepared by Yusuf Sraju, MSc in computer. Class. The topic of today is central processing unit. What is central processing unit? As you can see here, this is what we call central processing unit. The central processing unit is the brain of the computer. It is the brain of the computer that controls the affairs of the computer. This is a cascade. This cascade constitutes of three parts. We have the power part. As you can see, let me show you where the power is. Right, this is the power pack. This side is a power pack, so it is the power. When you connect with power, electric, that is where the power is. So here is where the processor is, microprocessor, but this is a cooler. This is a cooler, processor cooler. It is responsible for cooling the processor. But from here you can see that you cannot see the processor. That is why we figure them out. Here are the processors. So they were placed below this cooler so that this cooler will be putting a cool on them. Once you start your computer, it is responsible for providing cool. So it is a fan that provides that cool. Here is a slot for RAM. It's a slot for RAM. This is where we slot our RAMs. So you can see this is a RAM. This is where you slot our RAMs. So RAMs can be one, can be more than one. So you can place as much as the slots are provided there. Then we go to the next and see central processing. Then class, what is central processing? Let's see the definition of central processing unit. Is the brain of the computer that interprets and executes program instructions. So it's just like a human. Central processing is the brain of the computer. So once you take a brain, it controls this brain of the computer, interprets and executes program instructions. So that's what it means. It is also known as the processor or the brain of the computer. Just like in human, we have brain that controls our activities, what you do, what you should not do. So this is the same thing as the computer. We have the brain of the computer, then which is central processing unit. Then the central processing unit coordinates all activities within computer system. It coordinates the activities of the computer, what to do, what not to do at a particular time. So CPU is responsible for that. So we can see that CPU is the computer, in short. Is the computer. In a microcomputer, The central processing unit is contained on a single microprocessor. The central processing unit is contained on a single microprocessor chip within the system unit. So as I have told you earlier, that the processor is there on the motherboard. So we can see that here are what? The microprocessor. So they were put here on a chip. At the back of this, we can see here are ICs. Here is the cooler. There is microprocessor cooler. Under it, that is where the microprocessor is. So, and they were all placed on the motherboard. That is how it works. Then, what parts are the central processing unit? Part of what? Central processing unit. Central processing unit has two parts, namely we have one, the control unit. Control unit coordinates and controls activities carried out in the computer. So control unit, then we have the arithmetic and logic unit. Then let's look at the functions of each. What is the functions of central control unit? Control unit is the functional unit of the central processing unit that is responsible for retrieving instructions from memory, determining their type, and breaking each instruction into a series of simple small steps or action. So we can see that control units perform the functions of retrieving instructions from the memory, determining that type of breaking it, determining their type and breaking each instruction into a series of simple small steps of instruction. So this is what we call the computer itself performs functions based on what? Instructions. And we can say that these are the step-by-step instruction to perform what? A specific task. What to do? So the control unit performs those functions to enable the computer work properly. It also tells the computer system how to carry out the program instructions by directing the movement of electronic signal between memory and the arithmetic and logic unit. It also directs these control signals between central processing unit, input, output, communication devices. Right? Then we have the arithmetic logic unit. Is the component of the computer that is responsible for performing arithmetic and logic operations. So as we know that computer doesn't know anything unless 0 and 1. So this 0 and 1 is a table organized in the computer so that whatever functions the user send to the computer, give the computer command, it will go back to the table and perform the conversion of what you ask the computer to do, because computer knows nothing unless 0 and 1. So there is a conversion there. So this arithmetic and logic unit component is responsible for performing such arithmetic and logic unit on the computer. So you can see this. This is thank you for listening. This is the end of the of this part. So we should hope to see you in the next lesson. So if you have question, you can ask. Check your button there. There is question, so that we provide a column that you can ask a question and you can write that question. Thank you very much. See you next.